Hi, I'm Parallel Logic, and I created a post earlier about homosexuality and Christianity and how I believe that homosexuality is no longer a sin. Um, okay, to start off, why did I write that post? I wrote that post because I have I saw a post on Tumblr about Christians about like seeing that homosexuals were at Pride were creating signs bashing, not necessarily bashing, but pointing towards Christians that were homophobic and like taught the ideals that homosexuality is a sin. And I just kept thinking about that, and it really I had to let that sit in me because I have a lot of friends who are homosexual. Um, Personally, I don't believe in sexuality anymore. I'm starting to believe, at least. I believe that love is love, and there shouldn't be any labels. Have pride, but there shouldn't be any labels on love. And I also thought, I know a lot of homosexuals that strayed away and aren't Christians anymore. They don't believe that Jesus, died for our sins and that there is a God because they were bad. They're pretty much taught constantly that homosexuality is a sin, and that disheartens me because these are genuinely nice people. These are people who used to have strong faith. These are people that are loving and they're caring just like any other person. And then there are those who are not homosexual that bash on Christians, saying that we're evil and we're that Christians aren't that no one should be Christians and because they don't accept homosexuality. And that hurts me too because I do. I accept homosexuals. I love homosexuals. I go to practice with them. I chill with them. I think they're awesome. I think everyone can has the ability to be awesome, and regardless of sexuality. And this made me think more and more, and think about the teachings I learned from Christianity and what I've heard, and remembering past um, teachings. And that was one. And if you read my post, I said something about a pastor saying that we should get that the Old Testament is wrong. That not necessarily wrong, but those aren't the old teachings. That those are no longer. Most of it is no longer teaching anymore. That's why the New Testament was created. Not only because it's about Jesus and how he died for our sins, but it's also the new teachings. That's the New Testament. Um, and I remember that in the New Testament, Jesus reiterates. He does reiterate the Old Testament. He pulls from the Old Testament, and he reiterates the Ten Commandments. He reiterates no adultery, loving your enemy and your neighbor, uh, all that stuff. And I thought, but he doesn't. If I recall, he doesn't. Sorry, I'm lazy and I didn't feel like pulling out a Bible. um, but he doesn't say anything about homosexuality. The whole part about homosexuals, male and male. You know, he doesn't say anything about it, and that made me think too. That's why I created the post. If some of it's wrong, I'm sorry. I am not a pastor. I became baptized when I was 13. I'm 19 now, so I'm still very young. Um, I go to church every Sunday, but I just because I remember pastor saying, times are different. We have technology, we have sciences, we have new things coming out, and new information, such as homosexuals loving a male loving a male and a woman loving a woman. It's love now, and I know back then times were different too, where it was more so sought, like sodomy in Rome and Greece as something just to do for pleasure. And so that's why I created this post to, you know, iterate my belief and get people thinking. I want, Tumblr shouldn't just be about, women and funny shit. Cause sorry, I cursed. I bet. But I use it for that. But I like to think too, and I like getting other people to think. It's contradictory. I mean, not contradictory. It's controversial. Sorry. Um, it's controversial, but it's something I'm starting to believe in now. Something that got me thinking. Cause how can I hate? How can I point to someone and say you're going to hell because you like men and you're a male? I can't do that. It's just something I don't believe in anymore. Um, a little about myself. I actually had battle about homophobia because you know I live in I've been surrounded by Christianity my whole life, and I was baptized, and I had to think about it. I had to really think about it. It's something. Do I hate or do I love? And I choose to love. So that's my video. Oh, and do not follow this T-shirt I got from a friend. I love it's comfortable. Um, my friend got it for me for my birthday, but do not poke me. I'm ticklish. And yeah, so follow me.